Hi, everybody. Welcome to A Gal from Cleveland, Season 2. And look who is on with me. Hi, say hi, say
What
hi.
up, peoples? What it do? It's your man. You already know what time it is. You
So,
already
finally,
know.
after a year, we have finally got this done, right?
Yeah,
And
I'm.
what
I'm.
better place to do it in is Atlanta, right? Even
Yeah,
though I'm not around you, but I'm still in the same city.
I knew that was gonna happen anyway. I'm always. It's always something that was supposed to be that never happens. So it's cool.
Ah,
Yeah, I ain't gonna. I ain't gonna talk about
anyway,
it though. You know what I mean?
so
It's
we
all
got
good.
Cleveland's own Dave Tolliver from Men at Large and the Levert Experience.
Yeah. What's
I'm
up?
like absolutely proud of you.
Are you?
Dave is one of my best guy friends, and I just have to say that like you are doing it big. So just give the people that are not from Cleveland who should know who you are, which is a shame if they're not from Cleveland because we all about Cleveland on here. So
Real talk,
just kind of give them a little tidbit of your life.
man. You want the good parts or the bad parts?
We want it all. We want it all.
I do too, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to get it. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm basically Dave Tolliver. I started off a long time ago. Like next year, it'll be 40 years. I actually been in the music business. I
Wow.
started off on the radio in Cleveland when I was 15, like going on 16. It was my sophomore year, summer, going into my junior year. And my uncle slash my dad, Lynn Tolliver, who he called me, was like, David, somebody got fired. You need to come in and work. And I had been hanging with him from the time I was 4 years old. So I knew how to work the stuff and do this and do that. It was just about me developing my own personality. And from there, everything else just took off. That was what, 86. And that was like, I had already known Gerald. Yeah, 86, 40 years next year.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
thank God I'm still here. Um,
Yes.
that was like, I had known Gerald. I knew Gerald, but I didn't know Gerald because I was a little boy when I met him. Like, I'm like
Hmm.
13, 14. My mom worked for the government for 19 years, but she worked at a record store called Fillmore East, Beverly Taylor. Rest both of them. I miss both of them ladies.
Yes.
And he would come in there because he stayed down the
Uh-oh,
street a few miles in
you're
Shaker,
kind
the
of
big
going
house.
in and out.
That's what she said. Am I back?
You frozen.
Oh, fuck. You gonna be able to edit it?
I'll be able to edit.
God damn, man. I hate that shit. It's the
Is it me
storm
or
and it's
you?
and it's my internet too. The internet over here
Oh, it's your
blows.
internet. Okay.
It blows big balls. It's
I know
like
because you was really getting into it.
yeah, I know, right? That's going deep. And so somebody gonna pick up on this one day.
Oh my god.
Um this was around the same time, 86, same time Gerald decided that he wanted to work with us. Me and Jason were at Jeffrey Charles' house, radio guy in Cleveland. And he was a singer at the time, and he had an after party. His house was a lot of people there. And we always rolled around with this Casio keyboard that had tape on the batteries. And, he came and they were like, sing, sing. So we sang, and he was like, yo, I'm going to hook y'all up. Well, we ain't see him again for 3 years, 89. And yeah,
Wow.
and at that time, you remember Johnny O, who is the CEO of Nerve DJs now. He had a group called Johnny O
Yeah.
and the Sorcerer Crew. So you remember Cloyd, used to hang out with me and Fouché.
Yep.
And rest in peace, Cloyd.
He's
Damn, everybody
deployed.
gone.
Yep.
Thank God I'm still here. I'm grateful for that. Um, him and I were dancing for Johnny O and the Sorcerer Crew. We were called Big Stuff. We had the Gumbies, the big pants, skids, and, silk, the ugly ass shirts that they wore. The Hammer. We were dressing like Hammer with patent leather shoes and that whole thing. And so we was coming out of Right Track Studios downtown, and Gerald was like, yo, I got this idea for 3 big dudes that can sing, dance, do this, da 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 da. One thing led to another. We went up to the studio to audition. A couple days later, we back auditioned for his dad. And May of '92, our first record came out, Use Me. You know what I mean, on the East West Atlantic record label. Dig it. Dig it.
See.
Out.
And you know what? That was like to see y'all on BT, and yeah, y'all even did like the BT theme song, didn't y'all? Like y'all
Man,
did
we
like
the only group to ever have a jingle for BET. The only
yeah.
group to ever do a jingle for BET. We
That's
if for nothing
crazy.
else, we'll go down in history for that.
But that is history.
Yeah,
But
it
I
always is.
remember like the first time, and I mean, the crazy thing is, even though you try to play like you don't know me, but you probably don't back in the day, because you know it's a mutual person we know. We ain't gonna say that person's name.
Yeah, I'm so upset
Um,
about that.
but you know, Cleveland was like when you guys came out, we was hyped about
Yeah,
because you know, I mean, we already had Gerald, we had Levert, we you know, but we was like real hyped to see guys our age, you know, doing it big,
getting it.
and I know like you know you and Jason personally, but
Yeah,
I'm saying like back in the day, you know, so many people was just like, oh my god, do y'all see them, you know, and then when y'all came out with Use Me, that was it. It was just like, but I think everybody know you and Jason by a very huge song that I think, did you write it about your mom?
I
Who
wish.
wrote it?
I wish I had wrote that. Gerald wrote that for me to sing to my mom.
Okay.
At that time, my mom had died. Jason's dad died. Our road manager's dad had died. Gerald's grandfather had died. It was some intertwinings of some things going on with one of the group members of the Rude Boys. He was, fouling up, and it was
Oh.
just a sad time. It was the worst studio session of my life. It was like me having to relive my mom's death all over again. That's why it sounded like that, because I was crying the whole time. I hate the way I sing. I hate that.
Oh,
But it has touched the hearts of millions, and I'm cool with it
so much.
because shit, I still get to eat off of it. You know what I mean? So it does what it does. You know what I mean? It's all
Yeah,
good.
so alone is still, I mean, it comes on, you know, Sirius XM,
Hmm.
Spotify. I mean, like, I know people that they be like, oh my God, that's so long. And I'm like, yes.
Hmm.
it's go, it's gonna definitely touch your heart.
Man,
So I know that. Now see one song I'm kinda mad y'all never did a video for
what? Stay tonight.
is huh?
Stay tonight.
Was what State of
Stay tonight.
that, but it's another one that I listen to a lot. Um, would you like to dance with me?
Man, listen. That joint right there is the sleeper cut, because we did that on the Apollo
Thank
and cats
you.
went crazy over that. And it
Yes.
started it started to get, pop airplay before they kind of closed the book on the album. Man, that album stayed on the charts for over 2 years, man. And
Yeah.
it was rare. We had 5 singles. Rookie artists don't get 5 singles. It was
Mm-mm.
Using Me, You, Me, Good, So Alone, and then Would You Like to Dance? You know what I mean? And we fortunate. You know what I mean? Second album was the joint, but we got caught up in a
Yeah.
merger. We was feeling ourselves, and we was like, we want out. We tired of being on the fry machine. We wanted we wanted new cars and all this other stuff. But we got a quick dose of reality, because the business ain't that. If
Exactly.
somebody else is paying your way, you got to pay them back. And
Exactly.
we were just delusional on what we could do or what we should be doing or how we should have did it. Like, you've heard the stories of Silk and Tony Braxton and TLC. We had the
Hmm.
same type of contracts, but the only difference is they had management and representation. We didn't, and we just said, well, we'll do it ourselves, and we got it from the back there. It hurt a little bit
Right.
still to this day. You know what I mean?
They was like so what advice, because there is a lot of Cleveland people that watch, well now they watching it because this is our first official where they can watch it and not hear it. So like what advice, you know, just because you did start young, would you give like a young person that wants to get into the entertainment business as far as singing, dancing, you know, because you also do plays, you know,
Yeah.
you do it all. So, like, what advice
Steal
would you give
people's
them?
girls. You know what I mean? At
Uh,
55, to take people's ladies. You know what I'm saying? Got these
that
200
is not
pounds
good
above me. You know what I'm
advice.
saying? I'm just saying, man. I mean, it's a new day. no, no, let me quit because we know too many of the same people. So,
Oh my God.
my advice today, the whole face of the music business is totally different, man. You know, back in the day,
Yeah.
people sought out looking for talent. I mean, and they still do, but not on the scale that they did back then. I think a lot of these companies are just looking to find the person that has numbers, you know, a following, but they can tell if you got 1 million followers and you only getting 150 likes on something. It's all
Mm-hmm.
cap, like the young folks say. It's just cap. They
Cap.
say, like they say in DC, they welling.
Oh
you know,
yeah, I
yeah,
just heard that the
well,
other day. I was like, what?
yeah, and you know, it's either you're following, if you have your own money to match the rec companies or do it yourself, or if you have a nepotism, a nepotinistic. I don't. That's not a word, but if you got connections, you know, one will get you to
Yeah.
the other two, or you know, take like you got Taylor Swift's dad put up money. My thing is, I have so many different. Um, you know, they don't give a damn about talent anymore, and that's obvious. Although there are some great artists out there. You got your Lucky Days, you got your Giveons, you got Kalani, I love Ariana Grande, I love Coco Jones. I love
Oh
her big,
yes.
tall, black ass. I do. I like her ass.
I love
And
her. I've been loving her since she was little. So
man,
like to see her branch
from the
out
Disney
and
movie,
yeah.
Shine on Me, man.
Yep.
That was my joint. I'll watch that to this day. To this
Yes.
day, I like the movies.
I absolutely love her. Like she just to see her branching out and getting her flowers like she deserved, you know.
And she's sleeping with a calf, so I'm saying it's all good. She
Oh,
with Donovan Mitchell, so it's
she
all
is with
good.
Donovan Mitchell. Yep.
So he getting her straight. You know what I'm saying? That's why he hitting all them shots too. But
Shut up.
the one thing that I
I
really
thought
like
he
about
was hitting them
whoever
shots
wrote that
before her.
song, right? Whoever wrote that song for her when they used Lenny Williams' thing, I'm nobody even talked about that. The way she's singing the verses is, girl, you know, she's singing it like he doing them ad libs, and like
Right.
nobody ever talks about that. Like I'm like, yo, what the f was they thinking about? They had to been on some powerful ish when they did that. Like, but anyway, um, back to the advice. You know, music really doesn't make a lot of money for, you know, if you can get your music popular and you can tour, man. That's the blessed thing about what we doing now is we group like Voltron and we're able to tour. That's how we making money. You're not making much money off streams. People don't take CDs home, flash drives and stuff like that. Cause man, when I first moved to Atlanta 21 years ago, I sold like about 8,000 copies of a record that I had called Second Wind, just in the streets because I was hustling. You know, it was a different. You know, when I
Mm-hmm.
came down here, this is how different it was. It's like they don't care. I done sold a few million records. They don't care what you did. It's about what you got going on right now. And
Right.
you know, I came down here like cats have been asking me to move down here 10 years before I came, and then we decided to move down here in '04. When I got here, cats act like they didn't even know who I was. I was like, you son. I was like, son, you really? Like, and I call cats bluff on a lot of stuff. You know, I'm not a violent guy, but I just want to show up and say, put it this way, a very prominent rap dude from down here in Atlanta, one of the biggest rap groups of all time. This dude told me to come over to the studio and get an intern job. And I went over there to get it. He's like, "What you doing here, boy? You'll know who it is when I say, what you doing here, boy?" I said, and didn't you tell me to come over and get an intern job? Oh, no, not you, boy. Not you, boy.
What?
I said, well, you told me to come get the intern job. You said it's like 50 people trying to get 35 slots. You said it's some intern stuff. And when I walked up on it, I was like, bow. You know, I'm just like, what's up? Like hard as hell on his back. What's up? What up, boy? What up, boy? I'm like, what's happening, fam? Like, you told me to come get the. And the crazy thing was I ended up writing for one of his artists. And then when I got over there, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we was in the studio, but I learned real quick down here in Atlanta. I really miss home, but I can't come back. Like the only way I'm gonna come back is to be my final days or after my final day. That's it. You know what I mean? I can't come back to Cleveland. Even though Cleveland has changed, I love Cleveland, man. I do. I just, like, I'm supposed to be coming home this week, but it's like I don't want to spend $500 for a hotel. And I get
Yeah.
real queasy about stuff real quick. Like, I'm living out of hotels and I'm having panic attacks because I see
Oh.
stains here and stains there, and I'm like, "Ah!" And I got totally off the god doggone question, right? Let me get back to the
Wait a minute.
let me get back to the advice.
You was supposed to be talking about advice.
So, getting back to the advice about entertainment, even though they don't worry about talent, I still suggest you be proficient in your talent. I still suggest that you take time to rehearse, you take time to perfect your craft. Um, it's horrible. I hate to see rappers rapping over their vocals. I hate to see singers singing over their lead vocals. That's garbage to me. And it's a slap in the face for all of us artists that came before the 90s, the early 2000s, the 80s, 70s, 60s, and so on, that had to work so hard and bust our ass. Like if you listen to the first album and the way I sing now, it's a total 180. I
Yeah.
worked hard as hell on my craft because I am very vain. I'm vain. I like props. When we started off, they was like, "Man, y'all had a cold ass show." And I'm like, yeah, and it was like, "And Jay, man, you could sing your ass off." And I was like, "Yeah, I was singing too." And I was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that." And nah, I'm be honest, I don't really like me and you was talking on the phone or something. Like, yeah, I pull my own horn, but I don't do that on here. But like, I turned into a monster. The proof is in the pudding. I ain't even got to say it. You know what I mean? Practice your craft. Be the best singer you can be. Be the best rapper you can be. Come up with bars, whether you singing or rapping. Like you need to write stuff. Man, it's something catchy, something that's gonna stick. You know what I mean? Because it's like, why do you think they still play artist music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s every day,
Mm-hmm.
all day? But you got like, and I love Lil Durk and Lil Baby, and I'm not really a big fan of Kendrick, but I love Lil Durk, Lil Baby, and I'm saying, but like they got a bunch of records, but you're not gonna hear them 30 years from now. If it's on your playlist, you will,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna hear it on radio because radio just gonna keep jumping to the next thing, the next thing to distract you from the prize, the next thing, the Percocets. Next thing you know, cat's gonna be talking about doing meth, and then everybody else gonna be doing meth too. You know what I mean? It's like, don't be afraid to be different. I'm long winded as hell, so that means I can go long. I'm just telling you,
That's good
I'm long
because
winded
you
as
know
hell.
it's
I'm doing
30
your
minutes.
job for you. Because I know you was nervous, so it's all good.
I'm good. I'm good. I had
I
like all
bet.
sorts of questions for you. So
Okay,
like,
we
but
still
the
could
big
do it.
one was the advice because somebody did ask me to ask you that about the
Last
advice.
one is, don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to stick out like like a bump on a light skinned dude's lip. Seriously, don't be afraid. Look, we all got to drive on the same highway, but we all don't have to drive the same car or the same speed. Do you be true to who you are, man? That's all I got, man. If you can't
Gotcha.
win, if you can't win like that, then it ain't for you. Seriously, I can't see pretending to be something that I'm not, because that it'll catch up to you. I've heard
It
stories from
does.
Bone.
Yeah.
I've heard stories from Bone hanging out with them about how, you talk that life, you got to walk that life. I've heard ladies that talk that sexual stuff, and then when you out on the road, people think that's your you know what I'm saying. So whatever you talk, you gotta walk it like I talk it. They gonna be like, this is a
So,
cold
big
ass interview.
question
Uh-huh.
as far as the Levert experience. So, what made you and Joe and
Mark.
yeah, thank you. Because Sean was
So
talking
what
here.
happened
But what
was,
made you what made y'all come up with that? Because I think honestly that is a
the most
cool thing that
dangerous
y'all
group in
doing.
R&B right now. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
like that's
So
fire.
what happened was, my management guy Al Nolan, he had been trying to get us booked on the Tom Joyner cruise for years, and it was going to
And y'all
be
did that
me.
last year, right?
Right, it was going to be me and Jason, Joe and his guys, that he have now. Because he lost Buddy and Bingo. I lost Gemini. It was
Yeah.
me, Jason, him, Mark, the kids. But they never pushed it through. And he kept packing, and they wanted to do a tribute to Gerald last year. Who else you gonna get to do? I mean, yeah, you can get some cats to come on there and sing the songs, but you really drawn to the emotional value of what your presentation is if you have his brothers, out there singing, paying tribute to him. And man, it just seems like a lot of times you ask God, why me or why not me?
Mm-hmm.
We found the purpose that day. It was ordained to happen. Like it was fortunately by unfortunate circumstances that we all ended up together on that stage. And it's like when you a kid and they say, baby, put the block in the block, and it's put the triangle on the triangle, and the circle in the circle. It just because I'm saying we barely effing rehearsed, and we just went on there with all the songs. Joe was at dinner. He said, I'm at dinner with my girl, so I gotta take care of it for you dinner. You know what I'm saying? So
That's him.
yeah, that is him. And he came back. Me and Mark was almost finished. Like, and me, I don't be wanting to do that because I just know I could just stick it in and it's gonna bang, it's gonna go. You know what I mean? And it was magical. And the kids came up to me and was like, Uncle Dave, what happened to you? It was like you morphed into my dad and that. I was like, I don't know, man. I almost cried because I was just like, I've been hearing so many different compliments. I try to block it out because I don't want to hear that. I don't, I want to be the best version of Dave that I could be. I'm not replacing nobody. I'm not taking nobody's place. I just want to be me. I just want to ball. Like Kevin Durant said, he just want to ball. I don't want to be I just want to ball. That's it.
Right. And didn't you
Ball.
just get a doctorate?
Huh?
Didn't you just get a
My
doctorate?
honorary doctorate. So yeah,
Yes.
they were giving it to me.
Dr. Dave
Yeah,
Tolliver.
they were giving it to me, and I wasn't able to go to the ceremony, which was like 3 weeks ago. I
Okay.
had a concert, and I went past. It was going to cost me $2,000 to go there, or I'll make the $2,000 over here after we split the money up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I have to. And I know they probably was tired of me because I was going and I wasn't, and I was going and I wasn't, and then I had to go and I didn't make it. So I have to set up when I'm gonna go get it. But yeah, they giving me an honorary doctorate. So I'm gonna when you call me, be like, "What up, doc?" I'm like, "What up, boo?"
Yes, congratulations on that. Like I told you, I am like so freaking proud of you, proud to know you. You have like been a huge staple in Cleveland, and that's why, of course, I had to have you as my first guest on here because that does not make sense for me to have a podcast and just
And not
have
have the
any
king,
old body on here. I had to have, somebody
your
that's a
one of your
Cleveland
favorites,
staple.
one of your
So,
favorites. Keep it a
I
buck,
am like excited to do this season two, with you finally after a year,
man.
which
This
is my
this this
fault.
really
I
could
will
be a
say
two
that.
part. This really could
I'll
be like
tell
a two
y'all it's
part.
my fault. It's all me. It's all
It's
me.
all
But
good. No, it's nobody's fault. Like everybody's saying it's not life be life. And I thought I had made
life
that up because I
definitely
had
be.
never heard nobody say it. And I'm sitting at home, I said, damn man, life be life. And then the crazy thing when I picked up my phone, I started seeing it posted everywhere. I'm like,
Oh
oh, okay.
yeah,
I
that
wasn't
that
the
is the
first. I
thing.
wasn't the first
Life be
person to say
life.
it, was it? Yeah, life be life. And
Yep.
Joe Little say, God be God.
I love, I love that.
His monkey ass.
So, like, what upcoming projects do you have coming up? For you, like, because I know. Then you just did a play.
Yeah,
Didn't you
it's
just do a
coming
play?
up May 31st. I just did
Yep.
one and I'm doing it. I keep doing it. That's how you keep the money flowing. Like with the advice is you got to do other stuff within there because the music,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have hits, top 10, number ones, whatever, top 20, something that people know, it's gonna be hard for you to get days. But shout out my man Trap Boy Mannequin though. Like he be doing his own little tours and they be 200-300 people all over the country. I'm like, okay, teach me that, nephew. But
Right.
you have to be diligent in what you're doing or find out a way to circumvent the algorithm or the system, whatever you want to call it. And I guess he's mastered it. But project wise, man, I've been sitting down here writing, man. I just wrote about 15 songs over the last month and a half. And the songs are being mixed right now. I've been working with a guy by the name of Dre Hendricks, who works with Kyle West. Kyle West was very big in writing and producing for the Uptown era with I'll Be Sure and all
Oh
those cats.
yeah.
And so yeah, man, I've been on my oh my God. I don't even know where it's coming from. It's just, as life takes you through the doors that it takes you, the things that you will regurgitate, I guess. The stuff that you would throw out, it becomes I'm like, damn, I'm listening, I'm like, damn, Dunny, yo, it's some of my best work. I'm not screaming and hollering all over the record. I'm trying some different styles, and it's dope. I don't know what I'm gonna call it though. The new Dave Tolliver. Something. I mean, the new Dave Tolliver.
Well, new Dave Tolliver. I'm like ecstatic and thank you so much for being a part of
Are you?
this.
That's it?
It's 30 minutes.
Oh my God, man!
I
We
know
at
it went
26,
quick. I'm actually make it. I'm probably gonna make it an hour, but this
26.
first
We
one
at
I'm gonna do.
26 minutes.
I know,
You,
so we
you
only
know I
got
ain't
like
gonna
four
see
more
your face
minutes.
again for another year or two, except for on Facebook. What kind of ish is
Oh,
that?
so I actually have a person that's here that has a question for you.
Okay.
So what's the question? Oh, they're about to actually come on camera.
Come
So
on.
hold on. I don't know if you can fit over here. Just all up in my podcast. This is my podcast. Just walking all up.
He get right,
No,
don't he?
no.
Peace, brother. How you doing, man?
What up, man? What's happening?
Trying to be like you. We're trying to maintain and trying to be healthy, wealthy, and talented like you, man.
Man, listen, if I had your hands, I'd cut mine off, brother.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't cut yours off because then, hey, that'd be a bad move. I was just listening to you. First of all, as a an artist from Public Enemy to you, I want to first of all just say is that I admire your work
Thank
for
you,
a long
man.
time. And I heard Tamika say that you they've honored you with a doctor's degree. So I want to salute and congratulate you on that.
Thank you, brethren.
You brought up something that's very important, very vital to to when young people come to me and ask me that same question, as far as they're bringing their music to me, and asking me my thoughts. Um, when I tell them, my first question when I listen to their music, my first question to them, I'm asking them, who do you listen to?
Right. Yeah,
And,
definitely.
and, and when they tell me that, they're kind of looking at me, and I say, I got a reason that I'm asking you that question.
Right,
Um,
right,
so when they tell me who they listen to, I tell them, you know what? Um, find a place in your home, go somewhere, turn off the radio, turn off the stuff. Because I tell them, I said, you sound just like that person.
right.
And I ask people, I said, what is the fear of being different?
Yeah. That's
Why?
good.
What is the
Yeah.
purpose? And I always hear, well, this is the music that's popular right now. And I tell them, I said, you know, I said, a painter doesn't go into artistic mode and start making a picture, thinking number one is that um, they want that they saw this other painting and they want that painting to be similar or exactly like that because it sold so it was popular. I said real artists don't create to be popular.
Right.
Um, what is and I also asked them too. I asked I said, do you play any instruments? No, and I said, why not?
Right.
So I tried to get them to understand frequency, vibrations, and also the importance of being different. I tell them, I say, look, If you have a following, they're going to follow you on that journey because your art is an expression of your journey.
Mm-hmm.
And be true to that journey, as you said, is that if you are portraying yourself to be something that you're not, there's real dudes that are out there that going to pull your cards and really see
Yeah, they go. You're
you
gonna have
about
to
that.
answer to it.
You have to you have to answer to it, and
Yeah.
also too, being is that we're in this digital world, is that it's like you're making food, you're putting the season on. Once you put it in the oven, you can't take you can't take it back. Once it's
Wow.
out there in that digital world, and you've got, and like I tell young ladies, and I tell men, I said, if you become a mother or a father, how do you answer for the nonsense that you have maybe put out there, that's out there now in the universe? How do you answer that to your daughters, your sons, your nieces? How do you
Yeah.
answer for that when they're looking and saying, well, this is not what you portray, what I see you? So how do you answer? So what is your response, or how do you, when you're talking to young people, what is your response to them, and how do you help them navigate instead of navigating in an industry that is just basically, it's not, I tell them, it's not about quantity, it's the
Yeah.
quality of your work. How
Mm-hmm.
do you explain that to young people?
Man, man, you can't really explain nothing to these kids without flashcards today. I tell my kids all the time, say what you mean and mean what you say. I say I come from an era that we say what we mean and we mean what we say. They say, well, I can't stand y'all. And I said, me shit, I didn't mean you. Well, you said, um, I don't know, man, all these kids out here today are probably under 30, have I don't know, man, it seems like they have some type of mental block.
Mm,
It seems like they have like this wall up to hear anything of common sense. This wall up. If somebody told me there's no such thing as common sense, this therapist that was on one of my shows, um, I take every case differently, because a lot of times it'll go from what they're trying to do in the industry, and you have to mix in the fact of who they are as a person if you really get the time to sit back and get to know them. That, like how you asked the question, who you listening to. When I was vocal coach, and I would always ask them, well, who you listening to? Who's your favorite singers? And I knew off the bat, whatever they told me, whether it was going to be a good or it was going to be a horrible time up in this joint right now.
mm,
I think, it's, I think the biggest favor we can do to these kids today, and starting with our kids, is being transparent and vulnerable, not condemning them or crucifying them for their actions, but letting them know that we were just like you when we were kids. Let them know, like, man, I have been so open and honest with my kids. They don't even like talking to me about it, because I've told them. I've even told my daughter about the things I've done on the road, bro. And she'd be like, Dad, I don't want to hear it anymore. I said, but I'm just trying to protect you, because I know what's going to happen. You're a woman now. You're going to college. Things happen. I'm already comfortable with what's going to happen, but I want you to be able to protect your heart and make decisions for yourself. And so I think it's very important that we because see, a lot of these artists don't know the things that we went through, and when they find out our stories and the struggles and the ups and downs and the things that they just see you out here winning and doing this, and they don't think that there's a story behind that. It's important that we're totally honest, and you're not ashamed of who you were. That, you know what I'm saying. We have a big problem with being vulnerable and transparent with these kids, and we just want to tear them down instead of being honest, so they can feel comfortable talking to us, and maybe they will come to us for advice or direction, or which is the same thing. And I think that's the biggest thing, is just being transparent and vulnerable. Because I mean, hell, I'm sure 7, 8 out of every 10 person that's in the business that have kids or people that's doing some stuff or people that come to them, we did just about the same thing, man. We was wilding out there because it was something new to us. A lot of us came from nothing. Some of us came from middle class families, and some of us had stuff, but the majority of us came from nothing. And we went out there and lived it up and did a lot of things that we weren't supposed to, got away with stuff that we weren't supposed to. And I just think, because I'm going long. We both go long. I like that. I just think that we can't be afraid to, even in those cases, to be you for them, because you're not helping them by not being totally honest about who you are with them, period. Yeah.
Transparency.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Us as men have a problem with that anyway. Black
Yes.
people have a problem with transparency, period. Like, I've been crucified for being as vulnerable and transparent as I am. And I said, you, and maybe I've kind of always been like that, but it's like sometimes I feel like, I feel like I may be the woman sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm so open about my feelings, but I go to therapy, man. And I'm not going to let life kill me before it's time.
Right.
So y'all just gonna have to be mad at me, because I'm gonna talk about it every time I tell you I don't like it. You hurt my feelings. I'm pissed. I'm mad. I didn't like it. I'm upset. Man, I ain't scared. But yeah, man.
Another thing that you brought up, is that I tell, I started telling a lot of young people, and it's just not so much just through with music, but whatever wherever life is taking you and whatever goals that you do have, you certainly you do want to reap the benefits of where you're going and where you want to get to. But I think one of the most important things, and again, I heard you mention it just musically, when it came to you enjoyed the success and continue to enjoy the success that you have even now. But the more enjoyment that I got from hearing you and Tamika speaking is that you still enjoy the process more so than the rewards of.
Listen, man.
Expound on that.
What's crazy is now I have like a whole team, and your people don't want to pay people, and I can tell. I told my team the other day, we got a publicist, we got 2 managers, and one of them travels with us, and I've never felt so at ease. That's why I was able to write all these records that I just told her about over the last month. Before, I'm chasing the money, I'm booking the gigs, I'm setting up the interviews. Like, dog, I'm tired, and then I gotta check on my daughter at college. My son and his girl gonna have a baby. Like, damn, I got to do everything. Now I can concentrate on me, and but this is some of the happier times in my life, man. I told Mark years ago, after Sean and Gerald had passed away, I said, dog, I'll lose 200 pounds, man, if you let me join Levert. He always like, yeah, sound cool, but and we never talked about it. But I'm saying 20 years later and 200 pounds later, I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? So it another, if you ask for something and it doesn't happen when you want it to happen, this may not be necessarily that I wanted to be in Levert again, but I wanted to reinvent something, do something different, and be able to, because I've been asking, like, I want to do this until I can't. You know what I mean? I want to do it until I can. As long as I have my voice. Hell, I just saw Angie Stone from Cameo. Everybody sitting down doing it. Hell, if I can't walk, I'm going to sit down and still sing your panties off. That's what I'm going to come do. These are some of the happier times in my life, being out here with my big brothers, man. Joe Little was kind of, like a kind of like a little bully when we were younger a little bit, but he showed me, he gave me direction and helped me find my voice with my vocals. And Mark, I hung out with Mark more than I hung out with Gerald. So this is like, and we kind of lost touch for a long time. And man, it's like nothing, we back, man. Him about to do a video show called Top 10. We bringing videos back, a countdown. So man, look at God, man. Here we is. This is one of the happiest times in my life, brother. I just pray that I get an extended warranty on this.
Well,
Yay.
this is Tamika's show, and your and y'all. So I mean, I, I, I just knew that she was going to talk. So I had some questions for you, and also more importantly, I wanted to, you and I never met. I know Joe, but I know she every time she talks to you, Tamika talks to you, she says, Dave Tolliver said, always says, what's up? And,
Yeah.
inshallah, hopefully we will, meet, one
We'll
day.
link
We
up.
actually in Atlanta right now, but, out here with Griff. We had a meeting, with the Flowists from Flowetry, and she's performing tomorrow night. And
Yeah.
we're talking some business. So I wish this was more of a vacation type of thing, because we definitely would have tried to break bread with
I
you, and
tried, Dave. I did.
try to break bread with you. And my man
It's all
that
good.
also lives here in the ATL, Mr. Greg Williams, co-founder of Switch. Um,
Yeah.
Right. So, inshallah, I hope that, I do have the opportunity of,
You
meeting
will.
face.
I gotta come up there. I gotta come up there soon anyway. I was supposed to come next week, but the people that I stay with, they gonna be out of town, and man, I wasn't. I'm gonna be there. I was gonna be there for like about 4 days. I wasn't spending 500 on a hotel, and it's like everybody that I would stay with before is dead. You know what I'm saying? Or the people that's there now, their houses are not. Like I'm not the cleanest cat in the world, but I get real queasy and
I get it.
anxiety like when
Right.
I go to people's house and I see gook and nasty stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm already I just got to the point where I'm trying to maintain these hotels. I don't know how that happened, but it just happened like overnight. Where I start having these anxiety attacks in hotels. I see a stain over here, a stain over there, and I'm like, because I'm saying, you go to a hotel, you either go into a hotel for sex or for sleep or both. People don't take the time to be clean and wipe
No.
off or wipe up. You might drop some. I told somebody one time, I said, when I was 16, this girl let me take her out, right? And we went, I took her to see Freddie Jackson. I get the free tickets. I was on the radio, so I'm chilling. I had my grandmother's car, and she let me have sex with her in the front seat. Man, it was like, okay, excuse me, it was nut on the front seat. Dude, later that car caught on fire and the nut didn't go nowhere. It still was there. That shit's indestructible. That's life, man. So you never know. If you feel something hard on the floor or on the wall, man, I'm about to lose it now, man. Jesus Christ. Man, you just never know.
Mess. Just
You never
Well,
know. And
mess.
then
listen, man.
sometimes
Listen, man. I'm gonna
sometimes
give
them
you.
ladies come in there and they be so
Yeah.
mad or angry with their lives. I don't care. They do it all fast. Everybody don't take time to. They don't
Right.
take pride in their customer service. Everybody don't do it. So
Right.
yeah, I
Well,
go with my
I mean,
spray. I
that
spray.
was another. That was an extra nugget that I'm sure that was not expected on.
No, it ain't.
I mean, that's a good thing.
I thought we was done. I'm
I'm
sure she could edit that out because we had 43 minutes. She said I only had 30.
Nah, we moving on. We moving on. We go try to hit it. It's almost 60.
I think
I didn't expect the other questions, which Sean has some good questions. Congrats. I'm proud of
He
you.
did. Those were very good questions.
Yes.
They was dope. Yeah.
I didn't
He
I
in the
mean, because I
game, so he
did
know
tell
what
him I
up.
was talking to you, but I didn't know he had some questions. So
That's good
well,
stuff.
like I said,
very proud of you.
I'm gonna walk away now. But no, seriously. In all jokes aside, um, it's first of all, it is an honor to meet you in this manner. You are certainly a living legend, um, in
Wow,
this
appreciate it.
industry, in this thing that I call the arts. Um, and you, Joe, Mark, Gerald, Sean, um, And just everybody, you deserve you deserve your roses, and we, I always tell to me, the thing is that don't wait to give the roses when they can't smell them.
Yeah,
So you
thank you,
are,
man. I appreciate that.
yeah, you are, you certainly are deserving, of that, and continue. Um, continue to put out this music. It's I tell my kids, I say, you were talking about Kendrick. I follow. Well, I don't so much follow, but I listen to some of the things that Kendrick um, and some of the other ones do. But like when they ask me my thoughts and opinions on what do I think about these artists, I really can't give a fair assessment because I tell them, you know this is y'all's time, and the way we were in the studio making music, and our creative is completely different than what y'all doing. We did things from scratch, and then when we had our singers, we had real musicians in the
Yeah,
studio.
yeah,
So we understood sound. Um, we understood these things, and we understood is that the words that the lyrics to the music, we knew where it would touch you, and if it was going to be the upper chakra, the middle or the lower chakra, um, we understood that, and our musicians and our vocalists understood something that kids look at me and they don't know what the heck I'm talking about when I say learn music theory.
mm-hmm.
Um, you can't learn everything off of YouTube.
No,
Go to school.
Exactly.
Go to school and understand sound. Understand music theory. Understand how to read music,
yeah,
because I mean, is that everybody, like I told, is that everybody's not a rap artist. Everybody's not a singer. You may be a good writer, and you may be able to write music for somebody that vocally has that voice that can translate what you really want to get out there.
right.
So find your place, you know, period. But I know I'm getting away from it, but no, I just wanted to say to you, continue. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
I mean, I see y'all, I follow y'all through social media. I, you, Joe, and Mark, y'all ain't lost it, man. Y'all's
Well,
voices are stronger
I appreciate it, man.
now than
Thank
they
you.
were,
Thank you, man. I
So
appreciate
I'm
it.
getting off of here. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. Salute,
All
brother.
right, man. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell Griff what up.
I'll do that. Tell him I'll do that.
He said he'll do it.
I heard him.
I think Griff was texting him. But yeah, so we had like a little special guest, besides me and you.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
definitely I am so grateful and so honored to have you on here, Dave, as my first guest, because you know how I feel about you.
No
You
doubt. You
know
know how I
you are
feel
my
about
heart.
you.
So
For sure.
I am
Already.
so like extremely proud of you and everything from the beginning to now. You have definitely, like Sean said, the flowers are deserved for you as well
Thank you.
as, everybody else. Because I mean, like you all came out, Rude Boys and Men at Large, and it's funny because we was at your event last year, and I was like, dang, this is why I'm gonna do this podcast because your event had came out. We was gonna talk about it, and then I thought about it. I was like, Dave is doing a lot, like right now. He really is, and I'm just like so freaking proud that you
Thank you.
are, because
Yeah.
you brought that out, and then next thing I know, I'm looking, I'm like, he doing a play, he doing
Yeah.
this, he doing that, and then the
I
Laverne
got to.
Experience came
Otherwise, my
out, and
lights will
I'm
be
like,
off.
man.
Otherwise, my lights will be off. I got to. Yeah.
Well, no, you definitely are. You the man. I'm proud of you. So I absolutely love you, and I thank you so much for just being a part
Love
of
you too.
this, because
You already
you
know what time it is.
exactly we there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So of course I had to get one of Cleveland's own as a first guest, and of course you'll be on again, with the rest of the
Yeah.
actually, probably all three of y'all. If I could get all three of y'all on, I would do that.
We can
But
do it.
of course you'll
We
be a
definitely.
regular.
Yeah.
You'll be a
Yeah.
regular. But I do know I did tell Joe, so Joe did say it. I know he came out with this book, so I
Yeah.
would love to talk to
Yeah.
him about that. But I'm like really proud of
I
you with
got
your
you. I plug. You
doctorate.
get your hit him up. He'll do it.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
said it because I talked to him last year about it. He said it. He was like, "Oh, Tamika, I didn't know you was doing a podcast." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "It's just audio now." He was like, "You ain't gonna show your face?" I'm like, "Yeah, eventually."
Gotta show your face, babe. Got
I
to have
wasn't
pretty
like,
face.
trying to do all that. But I said season 2 is gonna be all about the face. But
It'll make people want to watch more.
exactly. Well, I
Yeah,
know
it'll make
like a
people want to
lot of
watch more.
people they pumped about this one because they was like, "When did you finally doing it? You finally doing it? You getting them on? You got them on?" And I said, "Dang, calm down." So like
Well,
I
here
told a
I'm
couple,
is, people. Y'all better tune in to this mother and watch it and share it and blow it up, make it go viral. You know what I'm talking about?
right.
Let's
Well,
go.
I don't post as much as I used to on Facebook. I'm more on Instagram and TikTok. So I'm definitely gonna put like a little excerpt on there of this so everybody can see it. But
All right.
it is gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be on my YouTube channel and Spotify.
That's what's up.
So I'm gonna let you go. We did almost hit 60 minutes, and I
It's good time.
appreciate. So look, you even went over what I said I was gonna do, but I'm so glad that happened because
Yeah.
now I can see. All right, I'm gonna do at least like 60-minute shows now.
If you have something to talk about, then it goes by really quick. I do it goes by really quick.
But
It's
someone
hard
told me
doing
it
a
wasn't gonna hit 30 though. I
yeah.
mean, because you know how mean you are, but I just figured I was like, nah, it's gonna probably be over.
I mean,
It's gone.
every one of them don't have to be 60 though, because I'm saying if the person doesn't have any content, you just
Mm-hmm.
gauge it. You know what I mean? Just gauge it.
Yeah,
And then if you have an
but
independent
I want
artist
to
on
bring
here or something
like
like that,
a lot of people from Cleveland on that's not getting shine. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of
yeah,
the same people that every time I turn around, you see them always getting awards and stuff. But then you got people that's doing the same thing but don't get recognized. So that's one of the reasons I started it because it was so many people I saw that wasn't like getting recognized for what they're doing, and I'm like, I feel like
they need to
Cleveland, and I
shine on.
said this actually on the bonus episode. I just feel like Cleveland is so competitive, and they're not, they don't never want to collaborate on things. It's always, I gotta be better than you.
It's been like that.
I know,
It's
and it
been like that,
sucks.
and it's no
Like,
outlets. It's no outlets for people to get up out of there. So y'all
yeah,
might as well do it to strengthen numbers. Now, I don't know what they thinking about because
I
y'all in a
know.
in a hole. Y'all in a
It's
black
like
hole, Cleveland.
crabs in the barrel mentality, and it irritates me because when I see certain things on social media and I look and I'm like, now you could have collabed with that person and y'all could have made this bigger, but you want to be bigger than that person, so you just rather, you know it just
Mm,
irritates me. Cleveland always irritated me though. I need to
it's been
move.
like that. Come on,
I need to
you sure it's
move.
safe?
Come, kind of come down
You sure
here.
it's
It's
safe?
kind of been hinted to
You
come
sure
down
it's
to
safe?
Atlanta. So, but I
You have to
absolutely
get your real
love.
estate license all over again.
Huh?
You have to
You,
get your real estate license all over again.
well, they said I only got to do the the Georgia one, the state.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the national and the yeah. I mean, but I want to do it anyway. I want to get Georgia and Florida. Those are the two
That's
big ones I want to do. So I already was planning to get a Georgia license.
well, you
Yep.
just don't know I'm being really good.
I'm proud of you. I'm so
I'm
proud of
being
you.
really good.
You
I'm
being
being
really
really
good. I'm
good.
so
I'm
proud
being
of
a
you.
well-behaved young
Because
man
you know
today.
on your show you a hot mess. You are a hot mess on your show. We ain't gonna even talk about your show. Actually, I got to get back on there. I know you wanted me to do it the other time,
Is
but I
that me
was
or
in
you?
that
You
state.
in the Matrix now.
Huh?
Say it again.
You
Is
thought I
that
was in the
me or you in the
Matrix?
Matrix?
Oh,
Yeah, I lost you.
I know it keeps saying
Oh no, I
reconnect.
didn't know you. Here you come back. There you go.
Yeah, it was saying reconnecting. I don't know if it's because is it
Yeah,
still raining outside?
it's got to be you now because
Yeah,
I'm,
I know. Yeah,
we
it
got to
keeps
do
saying
this all
reconnect.
over again.
It's yeah, but I am gonna get off with you. But we are gonna talk again, and I'm gonna definitely edit this somewhat.
Yeah,
But I appreciate you, and definitely anything that's coming up, let me know. As
I
far
will.
as like, because I know you told a little bit, but I'm sure like other stuff is coming up, tour dates and
Yeah, yeah, for
different
sure.
stuff like that.
Your husband look like he related to Barack Obama.
Why do people
uh, uh,
say that?
yeah,
They say that. So
yeah.
before they were saying he looked like Alan Payne. They used to say
He
that.
look like he related to Barack Obama. The United States has gone through different tariffs. I can't do that.
You are a mess.
All right, well,
Yes, people
thank you
have
for
said
having me, and
like, is
I
he
see now you
related
got to
to
come
Barack
back on my show.
Obama? Huh?
You got to come back on my show now.
Yes, I do have to come back on your show. I loved being on your
I'm
show. It was so fun.
I'm coming back to Cleveland radio. Get ready.
Oh, I saw it. I'm excited. But let me tell.
It's only
So
gonna be
wait,
one
have
day
you?
a week so
Okay, so
far.
before we get off, you haven't seen the Mary J tour yet? Have you? Did you see it in
I
Atlanta?
saw some. I'm not interested in Neo. I like Mario, but I don't think I can sit through his concert. I like Mary J. Blige, but I think it's something going on with her. You know,
What you think going on with her?
maybe she coming out there drunk because she ain't doing this, and she a little thicker. I like her. I like her thick. She
A
has
lot
kept.
of
I mean,
people liked her thick.
she has kept her body in total,
Yeah, because
total
she's
tip
what,
top shape
50?
for 30 something years. She came out in 92 when we did, so 33 years.
Yeah.
It's time to put on your Sunday dinner at grandma's house
Not
pants.
under-
You know what I'm saying? And
She looked
she
good
looked
though.
good to me.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
She
Like
looked
we
good to me.
went,
I like that.
she looked really good. I mean, to be because she was in her 50s, but she looked good.
Yeah,
And
she
I'm gonna
50.
keep it real. Neo, he did his thing. I know you ain't interested in Neo, but he did his
I,
thing. But one of my
mm,
friends is his dancer, so I mean, but no, it was a good show. It was.
yeah,
And Mario, he was
what'd
actually
you say?
good too. I'm not a huge
Mario
Mario.
singing fool. But I just can't sit through his concert. I
Who,
probably be
Neo's
asleep
concert
like
or
a John
Mario?
Legend, Neo or Mario. I just can't.
Really?
I couldn't. I can't.
I like John Legend too.
I can
Because you
sit through
about
Joe's concert because Joe Thomas is my favorite singer of all time. Believe it or not.
I've never seen Joe in concert. He's supposed to be coming here too. But I've never
From
seen him
what
in
I
concert.
seen, he ain't
I
that great
absolutely
in concert, but
love
on
music.
record, he is flawless.
Yeah.
He's
I heard
flawless.
his concerts is good. Now, I'm trying to think of another person I like, but I can't sit through a concert. But I would love to see Joe. Oh,
Yeah.
but you know who I really can't wait to see? John B.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in from a gal from Cleveland. Dave Tolliver has had fun being here. You know how I feel about this woman here. It's one of my favorite people on the planet. Want to thank y'all for tuning in. Season
I
2,
said
episode
you.
1, with the legendary, iconic,
I've already
used to
seen
be
you in
fat as
concert
hell
multiple
Dave
times. Oh,
Tolliver. Huh? What you say?
I said I done seen you in concert multiple times, and I'm 100% all you. Okay, all men at large,
Jesus
all
Christ.
Dave Tolliver.
John B. Man,
Yes,
man,
I like John B.
I like John B too, man, but I'm not paying for no ticket to go see him.
He gets a good show.
I'll pay to go see Ariana Grande.
Yeah, of course you
Me and my
would.
daughter went to go see her. She gave an incredible concert. I love Ariana Grande.
You said that earlier.
I'll pay to go see Coco Jones. I love her.
I definitely paid to go see Coco Jones.
Love her.
I was mad that she was in town, and I didn't even know she was in town. Like she
Who,
wasn't in
Coco?
town to see Donovan. She was in town for a concert. Like my daughter had told me,
Really?
and I'm like, why we didn't go? Because she loved
He
Coco
was there.
too, huh?
He was in the back, and then he was in the back
Now he was in
afterwards
the
too.
bag. He probably was in
He
the
was in the
bag.
back, and then he was
He
in the
loved
back.
he loved him some Coco. That's his boo.
I don't blame him. I don't
That's his
blame him.
boo. But no, I was mad because when I found out she was in town and had the concert and they were showing pictures, and I'm like, that's not fair. I really wanted to see her, but
Well, now it's
hopefully
time
she'll
to
come
say
back.
goodbye to all our friends.
Right. Well, I absolutely love you. Thank you for being my first
Love
guest.
you more. Thank you.
And I will talk to you later. And everybody, if you want to be a guest, yeah, well, I mean, I ain't going to put the stipulation on there because I did the first time and said you had to be from Cleveland. Because, I mean, Sean is not from Cleveland. So, now I just got to let everybody on here. But, I'm definitely I had to have Dave on. I could not put nobody else on here. Me and him had talked about it. That is my heart, and he already know that he had to be my first guest, and he is Cleveland's own. From radio to Men at Large to Laverne Experience to his plays to his songs. Yeah, I had to have Dave on. So anybody else that want to be on, y'all already know how to reach out. I will talk to y'all later. Bye, Tolly.
Bye bye.
All
See
right,
you.
I'll talk to you.
All right. All right.